On the tranquil Sea of Galilee, Simon and Andrew, their faces lined with fatigue, cast their nets with practiced motions. The weight of a fruitless night hangs heavy as they haul the empty nets, the coarse fibers slick in their calloused hands. The first rays of dawn paint the sky with hues of gold, a silent witness to their weary efforts. Hope dwindles with each passing moment, the sun climbing higher as the nets remain bare. A sigh escapes Simon's lips, his gaze drifting across the vast expanse of water, searching for a sign. On the serene shore of Galilee, a hush falls as Jesus arrives, drawing a multitude with faces etched with longing and curiosity. Sunlight glints on the water as Jesus' gaze settles upon Simon, a fisherman diligently mending his nets. With a simple gesture, Jesus requests Simon's boat, intending to transform it into a floating pulpit. Intrigue sparks in Simon's eyes, drawn by the magnetic presence of Jesus and the swelling crowd. A silent agreement passes between them, a fisherman offering his livelihood to a higher calling. Simon's boat, soon to be a vessel of wisdom, bobs gently on the water, awaiting the weight of destiny. Under the radiant sun, the Sea of Galilee shimmers, mirroring the vast sky above. From Simon's humble boat, Jesus' figure stands silhouetted against the light, a beacon of hope to the gathering crowd. His voice carries across the water, each word resonating with authority and profound peace, captivating the weary fisherman. Faces in the crowd, etched with hardship, now reflect a dawning hope as they listen intently to his teachings. Under the radiant sun, the Sea of Galilee shimmers, its vastness reflecting the divine light. Jesus, his sermon complete, turns towards Simon, a fisherman etched with the harsh wisdom of the sea. With a serene gesture, Jesus directs Simon toward the water, a promise hanging in the air. "Cast your nets again in deep water," Jesus commands, his voice resonating with unwavering faith. Simon, weathered and doubtful, concedes, "Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing, but at your word I will let down the net." Under the radiant sun, the Sea of Galilee churns, its surface reflecting an extraordinary event. Nets, impossibly laden with a shimmering mass of fish, groan and stretch, threatening to tear under the miraculous weight. Simon's rugged hands grip the ropes, his knuckles white against the coarse fiber. Andrew's face is a study in disbelief, his jaw slack as he stares at the overflowing bounty. Their eyes, wide and reflecting the sun-drenched water, are fixed on Jesus, the source of this astonishing spectacle. A profound realization dawns on them both, the divine power emanating from Jesus palpable in the very air. Dim light struggles through the windows, revealing Peter's mother-in-law, her face flushed with fever, lying in bed. Jesus enters the room, a palpable calm accompanying his every step. He approaches the bed, his expression a beacon of gentle compassion as he reaches out. With a touch, the fever breaks, and relief floods her face as the family watches, overcome with awe and gratitude. Under the vast sky, Simon's humble home is besieged by a sea of hopeful faces, their eyes gleaming with anticipation. Whispers of Jesus' miraculous healing ripple through the crowd, each soul yearning for a touch of divine intervention. At the doorway, Peter stands as a solemn observer, his expression a mixture of awe and profound understanding. The air crackles with unspoken desires as the multitude presses closer, their hopes pinned on a single figure. Jesus extends his hand, a beacon of hope in the desperate throng, ready to offer solace and transformation. Relief washes over those he touches, a visible wave of change spreading through the hopeful crowd, healing both body and spirit. Beneath the vast, serene sky of the countryside, Jesus gathers his chosen 12. Among them stands Simon, soon to be reborn, his eyes reflecting a mix of awe and anticipation. Jesus bestows upon him a new name, a powerful destiny. Simon will be called Peter, meaning rock. Peter embraces his divine calling, his resolve hardening like the very stone his name now signifies. Under the cloak of night, a fierce storm unleashes its fury, a upon the Sea of Galilee, battering a small fishing boat with relentless waves. The boat is tossed mercilessly, each wave threatening to swallow it whole, as the disciples struggle against the overwhelming power of nature. Terror etches deeply into their faces as they huddle together, a desperate fight against the storm raging around them. Amidst the chaos, a voice cuts through the storm's roar, a beacon of calm amidst the turmoil. "Peace! Be still!" Jesus commands, his words carrying an authority that promises to quell even the most violent tempest. Under the cloak of night, the Sea of Galilee mirrors the distant starlight, its surface rippling with unseen currents. Upon the darkened waters, a figure emerges, walking with impossible grace against the pull of the waves. Jesus, inside a small boat, huddled figures of the disciples are silhouetted against the night, their faces gripped by terror. A chorus of fearful whispers breaks the silence. "It's a ghost!" Peter's voice, laced with desperate hope, pierces through the fear. "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you on the water." Under the vast, star-strewn sky, the Sea of Galilee stretches into darkness as a small fishing boat bobs gently on the water. Jesus stands a short distance away, an ethereal glow surrounding him as he gestures towards Peter in the boat. With hesitant faith etched on his face, Peter steps out of the boat, his foot making contact with the water and holding firm. He walks on water as the wind rises, whipping around him. Fear overtakes Peter. "Lord, save me," he cries as the water begins to swallow his feet. Under the radiant sun, Jesus stands amidst the rolling hills, his face serene and filled with divine light. The wind whispers secrets through the tall grass, carrying the sweet scent of wildflowers across the idyllic countryside. He turns to his disciples, a profound question hanging in the air. "Who do you say that I am?" The disciples gaze upon him, their eyes reflecting a mixture of curiosity, awe, and deep reverence. Peter steps forward, his voice ringing with unwavering faith. "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." High atop Mount Tabor, the air shimmers with anticipation as Peter, James, and John witness an extraordinary event. Jesus is transfigured, his form radiating an otherworldly light that bathes the mountainside in divine glory. Beside him appear Moses and Elijah, ancient figures of immense spiritual presence, their forms glowing with celestial energy. The disciples shield their eyes, overwhelmed by the sheer intensity of the divine spectacle unfolding before them. A voice booms from the heavens, resonating with power and love. "This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." The very air vibrates with the weight of the proclamation, sealing a moment of profound revelation under the vast, open sky. In the upper room, soft lamplight bathes Jesus and his disciples in a warm, ethereal glow, casting long, dancing shadows. Jesus kneels, humility etched in every line of his posture, a basin of water reflecting the gentle light. With tender reverence, he reaches for Peter's foot, his touch gentle and deliberate. Peter recoils, his voice laced with disbelief and protest. "You shall never wash my feet." Jesus' gaze softens, a profound love and understanding in his eyes as he counters Peter's resistance. "If I do not wash you, you have no share with me," Jesus says, his words resonating with deep spiritual significance. Flickering candlelight dances across the upper room, casting long, ominous shadows on the faces gathered. Jesus speaks, his expression solemn, each word resonating with a heavy premonition. Peter listens intently, his brow furrowed with a growing sense of unease and concern. Jesus' prophecy hangs in the air, a chilling pronouncement. "Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." Peter rises, his voice filled with fervent denial and unwavering loyalty. "Even if I must die with you, I will not deny you," he vows, the intensity of his conviction echoing in the dimly lit room. Under the serene gaze of the moon, Jesus stands in the Garden of Gethsemane, a figure of peace amidst ancient olive trees. The tranquility shatters as torches blaze into view, Roman soldiers and temple guards emerging from the darkness like specters. Chaos erupts as they seize Jesus, their rough hands breaking the stillness of the night. A flash of steel as Peter, in a moment of fervent loyalty, draws his sword, moonlight glinting off the blade. The air is thick with tension as the sword falls, slicing through the night and severing the ear of the high priest's servant. In the high priest's courtyard, the fire blazes, its light painting the ancient stones with flickering shadows. Peter stands cloaked in shadow near the fire, his face a canvas of fear and unwavering loyalty. He watches as Jesus remains captive, the murmur of unseen voices thickening the air with dread. 3 times, the question hangs heavy. Is he a follower of Jesus? Each denial echoes in the night, a stone dropped into a deep well of betrayal. With each lie, Peter's eyes dart nervously towards the figure of Jesus, a silent plea for forgiveness etched on his face. In the high priest's courtyard, the piercing cry of the first rooster splits the dark night. Jesus turns slowly, his eyes finding Peter amidst the crowd. A silent, profound moment passes between them, heavy with unspoken words. Understanding dawns on Peter's face, followed by the crushing weight of realization. Peter remembers Jesus' words, the prophecy echoing in his mind. Overwhelmed, Peter collapses, his body racked with bitter, inconsolable weeping. Bathed in the stark light of day, Mary Magdalene's face is a canvas of disbelief as she gazes into the gaping emptiness of the tomb. Sunlight pours into the tomb, casting long shadows and highlighting the cold, bare stone. Her eyes wide with a dawning horror, she whirls around, her robes catching the light as she begins to flee. Driven by a desperate urgency, Mary sprints away from the tomb, her figure a silhouette against the bright landscape. Her frantic steps echo against the stone, each footfall a desperate plea to make sense of the impossible. The empty tomb stands silent, a stark testament to the mystery unfolding, as Mary races to deliver her earth-shattering news. Bathed in the sun's golden embrace, the Sea of Galilee shimmers, reflecting a divine serenity. Jesus stands on the shore, a gentle smile gracing his lips as a small fire crackles nearby. The rich aroma of grilled fish wafts through the air, a promise of nourishment and fellowship. He gestures towards the disciples, their fishing boat cutting through the tranquil waters as they approach the shore. Jesus prepares a breakfast of fish and bread for them, a silent invitation to partake in his grace. Under the radiant morning sun, on the tranquil Sea of Galilee, Jesus shares a simple meal of fish and bread with his disciples. Jesus turns to Peter, his eyes filled with a profound, searching light. "Simon, son of John, do you love me?" Peter responds with earnest devotion, his voice echoing across the water. "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." Jesus' gentle command resonates with divine purpose. "Feed my lambs." As seagulls circle above, their cries blending with the gravity of the moment, Jesus entrusts Peter with a sacred duty. "Feed my sheep." Under the radiant sun on the Mount of Olives, Jesus begins to ascend, a serene light emanating from him. His disciples, a devoted assembly of men and women, gaze upward in stunned awe. Faces upturned, they are transfixed by the miraculous ascension, shadows of olive trees stretching long around them. Jesus' voice echoes gently as he rises, "I will send the Holy Spirit to you." In the upper room, a palpable sense of anticipation hangs heavy as the disciples gather, heads bowed, their faces reflecting a mixture of hope and trepidation. Peter's gaze is filled with a mixture of hope and uncertainty as he prays with his fellow disciples. The air crackles with unspoken expectations, a quiet intensity filling the room as they await the arrival of the Holy Spirit. Each breath is a prayer, each heartbeat a drumbeat of hope as they prepare to face the unknown together. Jerusalem awakens, teeming with life, under the radiant sun of Pentecost. Suddenly, a fierce wind tears through the city, heralding the descent of the Holy Spirit upon the disciples. Peter emerges, his eyes ablaze, with divine power, ready to address the awestruck multitude. His voice, amplified by newfound conviction, resonates through the crowd as he proclaims the message of salvation. 3,000 people are baptized, marking a monumental spiritual turning point. Under the vast Roman sky, Peter, his face a map of faith and weariness, is captured amidst the city's grandeur. Stern Roman guards, armored and implacable, seize him, their grip tightening as they begin their grim march through the crowded streets. Each step is heavy, yet his gaze remains fixed on the heavens, a silent dialogue with the divine. The crowd watches in hushed silence, their faces etched with a mixture of fear and pity as they witness Peter's procession. The martyrdom site looms ahead, dominated by an inverted cross that awaits its solemn purpose. Peter gazes upon the inverted cross with serene acceptance, embracing his destiny with unwavering resolve.